Did you forget something? Why were you running?
Forgot to give my final rose. Not really. I just didn't know he still had them.
Sure. Lizzie, do you believe that? Pat Ridsby himself, who is an amazing father, husband, entrepreneur, coach, and 6-time best-selling author. And we're going to talk about that in the order, why I said it in this order. There's actually a story behind that I really love, and I should probably live up to that as well myself. But I will get there, because I'm going to learn from Pat that why he's doing it this way and why I should actually do the same, because I think that's the secret to happy and long life. So Pat, can you please just tell us, how did you even get here, and how did you even get started? Because I don't know if the listeners know, in case they don't know, I just want to mention that you have started, I would say, countless businesses as a CEO, as a co-owner, and you have, some of them became multi-million-dollar businesses, and I think almost all of them went over $1 million at least, right?
We did some kind of exciting things over time, but really, I was a college baseball coach, college strength coach, taught at the university, did lessons and some of that stuff on the side to make ends meet. I actually became a head coach in both those roles at the ripe old age of 23.
Wow.
So kind of trial by fire, and it certainly wasn't a great job. They don't give a great job like that to a 23-year-old. But it really kind of helped me put myself in both a leadership position, but then also, coaching at the collegiate level is so much like business. I mean, recruiting is very much like marketing and selling, and you still have the operational component. You still have to lead. You still have to do a lot of development with people. I mean, you coming from an athletic background, you certainly appreciate that. And so after about 7 years of that, I moved into the private sector and got into the fitness industry. Really, I mean, those were the two things that I was excited about: fitness, strength and conditioning, and then baseball. And so moved into that, and it took me about 1.5 years to kind of get my bearings and understand some of the differences between working in a university setting, which is very bureaucratic, and
I can see that.
and then kind of controlling so much of your own destiny as an entrepreneur. So opened a business in 2004 in a small town in the middle of Kentucky, not exactly what probably a lot of people would consider a hotbed for fitness. We had about 23,000 people in that town. It's a little bit bigger now. It's grown. But built it up in 18 months, had around 420 clients.
Wow.
And opened up a second location about an hour and 45 minutes away in another town, a little bit bigger town. It did very well. And so about that time, people started saying, well, what are you guys doing? How are you having success there? I mean, we'd go to small workshops and conferences, and other attendees would be asking us these questions. And so, ultimately I collaborated with a gentleman who actually lives here in Orlando, Eric Ruth, and launched the first information product that I was involved in. There weren't a lot of people doing that in the fitness business landscape at that time. Eric was one of them, doing a lot with direct response marketing, and I didn't have an audience, so I said, well, I want to collaborate. I've got good intellectual property, but not necessarily anybody who'd know who I was. And so did that. It turned into some opportunities to do some coaching moving forward, and then from there, things just kind of snowballed. There were opportunities that were kind of put forth that I'm sure that you've probably experienced as well. If you're doing good work in a particular arena, typically more opportunities come along. Sadly, a lot of people just pursue opportunities and forget about the doing good work side of it. But doing pretty good work there, and so it would create new things that founded 2 franchise organizations that were kind of like sibling organizations. One for youth fitness sports performance, one for adult fitness, collectively, there were about 275 locations between those. Education, certification companies, business coaching, but really in the time when my now 8-year-old son was young, like before he had started school, I was starting to kind of feel the ill effects of just spreading myself too thin. It's like I'm trying to be everywhere, and I don't necessarily know that I'm doing a great job at any of them. And so I made a decision late 2013 that I'm like, I need to pursue a different direction. I need to kind of recalibrate, and it took a while to kind of navigate what that was going to look like. And then obviously if you're involved in, at that point, over a dozen businesses, is not just a shareholder, but an active participant, like kind of unwinding some of that and selling. So at the end of 2014, sold all that and started what I do now, which is largely, it's business coaching, consulting for people who want to build their ideal business. So maybe people that, they want to have a really significant professional impact, but they want to make sure that it's not something that overshadows the personal life they want to lead as well.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing. And guys, I hope that you are listening and you mentioned a franchise. I put a note because I believe that your franchise that you have been involved for a long time was listed in Inc.'s 5,000, placing as high as 580. Is that correct? Mm-hmm. And then I think I put somewhere else that you also had 2 franchises, which was the Fitness Revolution and
Athletic Revolution.
Athletic Revolution. So also both reached number 1 in their actual field, right?
Yeah, they were both in the Entrepreneur Franchise 500. They were both in their respective categories, the top ranked, and then in Franchise Business Review, that kind of parent organization was the number 1 ranked, not just fitness franchise for franchisee satisfaction, but mid-size, so under 500 locations of all franchises in North America. So, I mean, we were doing things that I think, we were making the franchisees happy. They were having a good experience. It was a relationship-centric business that I think that so many of the people in the fitness industry, that's part of what draws us to this. Mm-hmm. But, I didn't want to look up 25 years from now and say, you know what, I've got a full bank account, but a really empty life. Yeah.